Welcome to my presentation on how microeconomic principles can be observed in current events. I am Mohammad Anisul Ashekeen, doing MBA Foundation here at University Canada West. Today, I will analyze three news items that highlight key economic concepts. Microeconomics focuses on understanding how individuals, businesses, and industries make choices when faced with limited resources and how these choices shape interactions in markets. It delves into key concepts like supply and demand, elasticity, and market competition to explain the decisions we make and their broader implications. Today, I'll explore three recent news events and analyze them through a microeconomic lens. These examples will illustrate how fundamental economic principles influence real-world decision-making, from consumer behavior to corporate strategies and regulatory policies. The 32.5 billion settlement proposed by the three major tobacco companies is an unprecedented agreement to resolve lawsuits related to tobacco-related health costs. This settlement aims to compensate smokers diagnosed with illnesses such as lung cancer and provide substantial payments to Canadian provinces. Beyond its legal and health implications, this news has significant economic consequences, particularly in how it impacts consumer behavior, market demand, and corporate strategies. Let's talk about its economic implications. Cigarette demand is considered inelastic, which means that even significant price increases will lead to only a small reduction in consumption. This is primarily due to the addictive nature of smoking. Consumers are less responsive to price changes because they continue to purchase cigarettes despite higher costs. In economics, this inelasticity is a key concept that describes a situation where the percentage change in quantity demanded is smaller than the percentage change in price. However, the introduction of e-cigarettes into the market introduces another important economic concept: cross price elasticity of demand. Cross price elasticity measures how the demand for one good responds to a change in the price of a related good, like a substitute. In this case, as cigarette prices rise, consumers may turn to e-cigarettes as a less harmful alternative. As cigarette prices increase, the demand for e-cigarettes is likely to increase as well, demonstrating positive cross-price elasticity. This behavior reflects how consumers adjust their purchasing decisions based on relative prices between substitutes. This shift from cigarettes to e-cigarettes shows how consumers are not strictly loyal to one product but will substitute it with another when price differences become significant enough. It also highlights the broader market dynamics, where policy interventions like price hikes on cigarettes can lead to changes in consumer preferences and, consequently, in demand for alternative products. Understanding these economic concepts helps us see the broader impact of price changes, just an not just on a single product, but across related markets. The coffee industry is dealing with significant challenges, including crop losses in Brazil due to frost and drought in Vietnam. Adding to this, many Vietnamese farmers have shifted to growing durian, a more profitable crop, further reducing coffee supply. These factors have disrupted global coffee production and led to rising prices. Let's analyze how these developments impact market dynamics and prices. The coffee market has been significantly impacted by a combination of climate challenges and shifts in crop choices, such as the frost in Brazil and the drought in Vietnam. These disruptions to coffee production are a prime example of how supply side factors influence market dynamics. As coffee production decreases, the supply curve shifts leftward, representing a reduction in the quantity of coffee available at any given price. This leftward shift means that for the same level of demand, there is now less coffee in the market, which naturally leads to an increase in equilibrium prices. This concept is rooted in supply and demand theory, where a decrease in supply with demand remaining constant pushes prices up. The price increase is an immediate consequence of the supply curve shifting to the left as consumers are competing for a smaller amount of coffee, leading to higher prices. In the short term, the supply of coffee is considered inelastic, which means that even though prices are rising, the quantity of coffee supply doesn't increase much in response. This is because coffee crops take time to grow and farmers can't quickly alter their production practices to meet changes in demand. Essentially, the supply of coffee is not very responsive to price changes in the short run because agricultural production cycles are long and factors like climate and crop shifts can make quick adjustment difficult. This inelasticity of supply amplifies the effect of disruptions. Even a relatively small decreases in supply due to a climate events or shifts in farming practices can result in large price increases. As there is limited ability to quickly produce more coffee to meet the demand. The situation demonstrates how elasticity, both in terms of supply and demand, plays a critical role in shaping price dynamics. In this case, the inelastic supply magnifies the impact of reduced coffee production on prices, underscoring the importance of understanding elasticity in forecasting market behavior and consumer costs. Moreover, the long-term effects of these disruptions may lead to more permanent shifts in the market, where farmers could change crop production patterns or invest in more resilient farming techniques. But in the short term, these challenges highlight how vulnerable markets can be to supply shocks and the critical importance of understanding elasticity in both the supply and demand curves. Now, our third news, the Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunication Commission CRTC has introduced a policy to enhance competition in the internet service market by allowing smaller providers across to the fiber networks of larger firms. The regulation aims to lower prices and expand consumer choices. This initiative also ensures that larger companies recover their infrastructure investment, promoting long-term growth and innovation in the sector. This new regulatory policy aims to foster monopolistic competition within the Canadian internet service market by reducing the barriers to entry for smaller firms. Entry barriers such as high startup costs, access to infrastructure, and economics of scale often prevent smaller firms from entering the market. In the case of internet services, the policy has allowed smaller providers to access the fiber optic networks of larger companies, giving them a chance to compete without having to invest in building their own costly infrastructure. This is a key concept in monopolistic competition, a market structure where many firms offer differentiated products, but the entry of new competitors remains possible, and no single company has absolute control over the market. By opening up these networks to smaller providers, the market becomes more competitive in the short term. Consumers benefit from lower prices and increased choices as more firms enter the market, each offering different prices, models, packages, and additional features. This increased competition forces existing firms to reconsider their pricing strategies, improve their services, and consider the needs of a more diverse customer base. As a result, consumers enjoy more value for their money as firms must compete for their business through price reductions, better service quality, and traditional and additional perks. Over time, this shift towards the more competitive environment will likely encourage firms to operate more efficiently. In a competitive market, firms must keep their costs low and productivity high to maintain profitability. Therefore, they are incentivized to innovate not just in terms of product offerings but also in their use of technology, customer service practices, and marketing strategies. For example, companies may introduce advanced technologies such as faster broadband speeds, better customer support through AI or chatbots, and more customized internet packages tailored to different consumer needs. These innovations directly benefit consumers as they are exposed to better quality services and more options that fit their specific preference. In the long run, this increased competition and innovation lead to a healthier and more dynamic market. The competitive pressure encourages firms to improve their operational efficiency, which benefits the overall economy by reducing wasteful practices and promoting technological advancement. Moreover, the regulatory policy creates a more equitable market environment where no single company can exploit its market power to detriment of consumers. This will ultimately lead to a more robust telecommunications sector that is resilient to external shocks, supports economic growth, and provides consumers with more choices at affordable prices. In a sense, the policy reduces market concentration, promoting a more level playing field and ensuring that both consumers and smaller firms can thrive in a competitive ecosystem. This is a textbook example of how regulation can encourage market efficiency and fairness by addressing issues like monopoly power and increasing the overall welfare of consumers. Here we have plotted the comparative analysis. I will not go further here. We have already discussed them in details. Actually, this is how microeconomics connects theory to real world challenges. Examples illustrate demand elasticity, supply shifts, and market structures. Microeconomics bridges the gap between abstract theory and practical applications. Thank you.